Just a beautiful night in New York City. Far right of your screen, here it looks relatively small. That's the Chrysler Building right in the middle. Spire all lighted up in President's Cup gold. That is the Empire State Building. We'll be lighting up the base of the World Trade Center in the colors of the winning team each and every night. They have the President's Cup fan experience at the base of the World Trade, right in the atrium of the Oculus. A lot going on in and around the Big Apple this week with President's Cup. Match number 4. Brooks Koepka went 3-1-0 in his Ryder Cup debut last year at Hazeltine National. Berger has represented the U.S. in the Arnold Palmer Cup. How about Oosthuizen and Grace? They were phenomenal 2 years ago, unbeaten. Let's hear what these guys have to say.
We play a pretty similar game. I think it's good. I think he's the way it's going to work out. I think he's going to be more comfortable with me just because he's known me for a little bit longer. I think it'll ease him up a little bit, maybe free him up, which would be nice. And me, I mean, I just want to play. I'll play with anybody, but I am excited to play with Berger. You know, we played the year together in college at Florida State, and you know, both grew up in West Palm. So I think knowing a little bit more about his game probably than I do anybody else on the team, I think is a big benefit.
We go back a long ways, obviously being from South Florida. He was a little bit older than I was playing high school golf, but got to spend a year with him at Florida State, and you know, those were the good times, and obviously the last couple years on tour. So I mean, we're very friendly. We hang out back at home, we play golf together, and it's just like just another round, you know.
We'll definitely be hitting in first to the greens. We got Brooks and Daniel both really long hitters, so you know, that can play to our advantage. But again, we got to hit good shots to put a little bit of pressure on them. But yeah, you know, they both had a great season. Brooks obviously winning US Open, so we're going to have our hands full, me and Brandon.
And David, this is a hell of a matchup, isn't it?
It really is. You're talking about. I think this might very well be the match of the day. And having Louis and Brandon Grace out undefeated just 2 short years ago, you know, certainly some firepower on the U.S. side, but I find it entirely intriguing. And to me, it looks like the match. This one is the hardest to really wrap my head around and think of who I would truly pick. But they say that, you know, you don't bet against a streak, but all good streaks come to an end. But I still, you know, I'm leaning towards that matchup of Louis and Brandon Grace. They just are a formidable team, and they seem to have a chemistry that you really need in these type of events.
Well, I guess we're going to find out if momentum lasts 2 years.
Right.
You know, a lot has transpired since 2015 to 2017. They're not playing quite the golf that they were playing right then. So will they be the same team that they were in 2015? There's no way you wouldn't pair them together, obviously. So it will be very interesting. Meanwhile, Brooks Koepka and Daniel Berger are 2 of the best drivers in the world. Brooks Koepka is one of the best putters in the world. Daniel Berger knows how to bat himself. You know, this is going to be a very tough match for Louis Oosthuizen and Brandon Grace to win.
I mean, I think the international side has plenty of, as you like to call them, plenty of hitters. But do they have putters? You know,
the average rank is 103rd for putters on the international side. 103rd is dead even. It gets you it gains you nothing, and it loses nothing. It's dead even. So the average of their putters is average, and the U.S. side is twice the team on the greens.
Yeah, it so often comes down to who makes the putts. We always hear that at these team competitions.
Yes, it does.
How about match number 5? Kevin Kisner in his first ever President's Cup. Tough guy. Phil Mickelson, this is just his 52nd President's Cup match. 11 of Mickelson's 23 match wins have come in foursomes. Day and Leishman teaming up for the first time. Do not have especially good records in foursomes play. Combined, they are 1-6-3.
I think he probably wants me to be as hyped up as I can be. He's fired up. He's grabbing me every 5 minutes and telling me something that I don't understand, and then we go on. So looking forward to that, and I'm just looking forward to having chances to win holes for him, and he lives for that stuff, man. We played a great match today, and you should have seen him when the back was against the wall. The best came out.
Randall, some people were sort of caught by surprise, didn't expect this pairing, Kisner and Mickelson. How about you?
No, I wasn't. It made perfect sense. I actually talked about this pairing. I thought it would happen this week because Phil played so well with Zach Johnson in 2015. And when you start to look on the landscape of golf, who most reminds you of Zach Johnson, and that's Kevin Kisner. He'd drive it through the eye of a needle. He's tough as nails. He blends well with anybody. And, you know, Phil may not have had the best record in the Ryder Cup, but he is one of, if not the best President's Cup player ever. There's only been 23 players ever go undefeated since the President's Cup started in the matches. Now, it doesn't mean 5-0. It means 4-0 or 3-0-1. He's done it 3 times, and he's the only player to do that. He was undefeated in 2015, and he could very well go undefeated in this set of matches.
And, David, this feels like one the internationals might need to get. I mean, you know, Jason Day's been the best he's been, but over the last 2 to 3 years, one of the great players in the world. And Leishman, at least over the last month and a half, has been one of the best players in the world. This feels like one they might need to get.
Well, and then I think they very well could, but that's the beauty of talking about these matches and these pairings. I mean, really, in the end, it's hard to pick a side. You're talking about world-class players, but you know the way Jason Day has played, the way he's kind of rounded into form, and the way Mark Leishman has been playing as of late, you know that could be a very tough get for Phil Mickelson and Kevin Kisner. But at the same time, the experience of Phil Mickelson, the bulldogishness of Kevin Kisner, how do you bet against that? I mean, I don't. That's what we sit here and I understand that we're kind of supposed to pick sides and, or pick the matches, but it gets very difficult to do that at times.
But just reading the social media blitz and the media blitz that all the teams went on yesterday, all over New York City, was great. But just listening today, watching him interact with everybody, it looked like he was very confident and very comfortable in a leadership role. So I think that speaks to his comfort with his game right now, and he was a little chirpy saying, you know, I got this whole golf thing figured out, which maybe he does, because if you've watched him, I don't know anybody that's really said that it didn't come back and bite him, but maybe it doesn't bite him this week.
All right, so here, one more look at the 5 matches. Foursomes play again. That is alternate shot. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on Golf Channel. Fowler and Thomas, 2 young standouts for the United States against Matsuyama and Schwartzel. Matsuyama did not have a single top 20 through the FedEx Cup playoffs. Johnson, Kuchar against Scott in Vegas, Spieth and Reed, breathing fire against the rookies, Kim and Grillo. Koepka Berger against Oosthuizen and Grayson, and Kisner and Mickelson against Day and Leishman. Chappell, Hoffman sitting out for the U.S., Hadwin and Lahiri for the internationals. Still to come, a lot of money, a lot of dirt, and a lot of ambition. The story of Liberty National when we come back.